The wreckage stretched for kilometers across the crimson sands of Kepler 442b, twisted metal and shattered composite materials glinting under the binary suns. Rhea Klein wiped sweat from her brow, her mechanic's jumpsuit stained with hydraulic fluid and red dust. The distress beacon had led her here to what remained of a Velthari scout vessel, its elegant curves now reduced to jagged edges and scorch marks. She'd been salvaging components for her own ship when she heard it, a sound that didn't belong among the groaning metal and hissing pneumatics, a whimper. Low, pained, and unmistakably alive. Rhea grabbed her plasma cutter and climbed deeper into the wreckage, her boots crunching over debris. The sound grew louder, more desperate. She rounded a collapsed bulkhead and froze. Pinned beneath a fallen support beam lay a creature unlike anything she'd seen in her 15 years working frontier worlds. Its fur was pure white, almost luminescent in the dim emergency lighting that still flickered sporadically. Feline features, a delicate muzzle, pointed ears pressed flat against its skull, and eyes that gleamed like polished amethyst. But this was no earth cat. It was easily 2 meters long, with limbs that ended in retractable claws and a body built for both grace and power. Currently that body lay broken. "Easy," Rhea whispered, approaching slowly. The alien's eyes tracked her movement, pupils narrowing to slits. Its lips pulled back, revealing needle-sharp teeth, but the growl that emerged was weak, defeated. Blood violet and viscous pooled beneath the beam. Rhea assessed the situation with a mechanic's practiced eye. The beam had crushed the creature's spine, somewhere around the lower thoracic region if its anatomy was anything like Earth mammals. The hind legs lay at unnatural angles, unmoving. She should leave. The smart play was to grab what salvage she could and get off this rock before the sandstorms hit. But those eyes, those impossibly intelligent, terrified eyes, held her in place. "Damn it," Rhea muttered. She'd always been too soft for the salvage business. She positioned her plasma cutter carefully, speaking in low, soothing tones even though the alien couldn't possibly understand her. "I'm going to get you out. This might hurt. Try not to eat me, okay?" The cutting took 3 minutes that felt like hours. When the beam finally split, Rhea shoved it aside and dropped to her knees beside the alien. Up close, she could see the intricate patterns in its fur, not quite white, but iridescent, shifting between pearl and silver depending on the light. Beautiful and utterly alien. She ran her hands along its spine, feeling for breaks. The alien Sulkai, according to the identification chip her scanner picked up, growled again, but didn't strike. Its breathing came in shallow, rapid pants. "Your back's broken," Rhea said softly, though she knew the creature couldn't understand. "Your legs—" "I don't think they're going to work again." Sulkai's eyes dimmed, as if some understanding passed between them despite the language barrier. The fight drained from the alien's body. Rhea made a decision that would haunt her logistics for weeks. "Come on, I'm not leaving you here." Getting Sulkai back to her ship was an ordeal that tested every muscle Rhea possessed. The alien weighed at least 90 kilos, all dead weight below the waist. She fashioned a makeshift stretcher from hull plating and drag straps, then spent 2 hours hauling her charge across the burning sands. Sulkai remained eerily silent throughout, those violet eyes never leaving Rhea's face. Her ship, the Rusty Bolt, was never meant to accommodate passengers, least of all a 2-meter paralyzed alien. Rhea cleared out her cargo bay, creating a makeshift medical space with salvaged cushions and her limited supply of medical foam. She cleaned Sulkai's wounds as best she could, applying universal antiseptics and hoping the alien's biochemistry wouldn't reject them. "I don't know what I'm doing," Rhea admitted as she worked, hands surprisingly steady despite her uncertainty. "I fix ships, not ... whatever you are. But I'll figure it out." Sulkai watched her with an intensity that felt almost like judgment. Or perhaps understanding. It was impossible to tell. The first week was brutal. Sulkai refused food, those amethyst eyes hollow with something that looked disturbingly like despair. Rhea tried every protein synthesis combination her ship's database could generate, finally finding success with a gel-based nutrient paste. The alien ate reluctantly, as if life itself had become a burden. Rhea talked constantly, filling the silence with stories of her work, her travels, the peculiarities of human machinery. She didn't know if Sulkai understood a single word, but the alien's ears would swivel toward her voice, and sometimes, just sometimes, those eyes seemed a little less empty. She fashioned a support harness from cargo netting and hydraulic assists, trying to give Soul Kai some mobility. The alien's upper body strength was impressive. Those powerful forelegs capable of dragging the paralyzed lower half with Ria's assistance. But it wasn't walking. It would never walk again. Ria caught Soul Kai staring at its useless legs one night, a sound emerging from the alien's throat that needed no translation. It was grief, pure and simple. "I'm sorry," Ria whispered, settling beside the alien on the cargo bay floor. "I'm so sorry I couldn't fix this." Soul Kai's head turned toward her, and for the first time the alien leaned into Ria's touch, accepting the comfort of her hand on its neck. Weeks became months. Ria's salvage business suffered as she devoted more time to Soul Kai's care. She researched Velthari physiology, trading precious fuel credits for xenobiological texts. She learned that Soul Kai had been a navigator, one of the rare albino variants whose people considered them touched by stellar winds. She learned that Velthari were a proud species for whom physical prowess was deeply tied to identity. She understood then why Soul Kai had looked so defeated. But Ria was a mechanic, and mechanics solved problems. She started small exercises to maintain Soul Kai's upper body strength, modifications to the harness for better mobility. Then came the neural interface, a risky procedure involving salvaged Velthari technology and human adaptability. She worked by instinct and stubborn determination, her hands steady as she integrated circuits and organic tissue. Soul Kai never resisted, though pain clearly flickered across that alien face. Trust had grown between them, wordless but unbreakable. The day Soul Kai's tail twitched a genuine neural response rather than muscle spasm, Ria cried. She actually cried, tears streaming down her face as she documented the progress. Soul Kai's head tilted, one paw reaching up to touch Ria's face, claws carefully retracted. A rumbling sound emerged from the alien's chest, not a growl. A purr. "We're going to get you walking again," Ria promised, gripping that alien paw. "I don't care how long it takes," and deep in those amethyst eyes, for the first time since the crash, Ria saw something that looked like hope,